Exercise 1.24. This is a familiar exercise that we use to calculate the average of students' grades. And before we used this formula. This formula added up all the three grades and divided by, of course, the number of the grades 3 times. So this is how we do it before, but now we have to look for a better way. Why do we need a better way? Is that if we have an extra grade, for example, let me show you here. If we have one extra grade, say extra, and you will find out the final marks is not changing. And if you click into the function, you will see, oh, it's still the same old 3 cells and divide by, of course, number 3. It's not flexible. So when we have such a function, we have to update it again and again if there are certain information need to be added. So what could be a safer choice? Let me show you. Delete this one. Here is an alternative. We have a function called average. And using this function and select B1 to D1, we can calculate the final mark. It's the same as how we calculated in the other way. But let's try to add another column into it. Say it's extra 785. Yeah, it's just random numbers. You see here, the average actually pick up all the extra information that we inserted into the range, but the other way will not. And also, when you have a number into it, that's almost always inflexible. So you should take that into account. Refer to the cell as much as possible and try to avoid using natural numbers in your formula as much as possible. So let's delete this one. We already made our point and we drag the formula downwards. So here is another way to calculate this, and a better way, and it's a way that you should write your formulas from now on. And let's continue with a few more examples. So now we have all the averages, and how about we want the average of the whole class? As you know, this is probably the easiest way, the average again, but instead of selecting all the grades, you select the final grades we have already concluded, and now we have the average of the class, which is 5.9. And there's another way to calculate this. Of course, it's a more complicated way. This way remains the preferred solution. But there's another way which also makes sense, is that first you can sum it up, just for the sake of showing it, showing you how this works. So sum function is a function that can add all the inputs up. And here we can choose all the grades, and we have the total of all the grades. What can you do with the total of the grades? It doesn't tell you much. But if you divide it by the number of participants, the number of students in this table, then you get the average. So here we have another function called count. The count function can count how many values are there, and in this case it's obviously a 6. So the total of everyone's grades divided by the number of students, 6, we end up with the average. So here is the same as when you use the average function. It's just we are making it more complicated just to show you how sum and count functions work. The next one I would like to show you is that think of this scenario. So we are still talking about how much grades you received. What if I want to know how many of you have failed the exam, right? So I have another function here called countIf. So countIf is a similar one to count, but with the if, it brings one condition. So that means we are not only gonna count, we're also gonna count with a condition, with a constraint to the data. So here we first select our range, and then you can see here you always get the pop-up to tell you what kind of arguments that contains in the formula. So here you have the range we have just finished, and if we press on the semicolon, it goes to criteria. When you write a criteria, you should always have the quotation marks. Be careful, the quotation marks cannot be typed in as 2 times apostrophe, even though it looks like a quotation mark, but the system will not recognize it as a quotation mark. Instead, you should use Shift and the apostrophe quotation mark button next to the Enter button, and here we go. We have in one go a quotation mark. So within the quotation mark, I'm typing in a criteria. In this case, I want to know how many people have failed the exam, so that will be smaller than 5.5. Right? Yeah, as I said, probably it's better you don't type in any number, but in this case, the rule is unlikely to change, and the 5.5 is not written anywhere else. So we're gonna type it in. Don't forget to close it, and also close the whole formula. Here we go. 3 people didn't make it. Let's see if it's true. So 5.3, 4.9, 4.2, 5.5 just passed, since we give the sorry, it's not this one. Since we give the condition as smaller than, so equal to 5.5 is not included. So it is correct. 3 people failed the exam. So the next one we're gonna try is a sum if. So we're gonna take all those 3 failing grades and add them together. I know it's not making much sense to adding different people's grades, but just for the sake of showing you how it works, let's try that. So sum if, so sum, just like you know it, to add things together, and if is that with the condition. So the first is the range. So we have this range, the same thing, even though we already know 5.3, 4.9, and 5.2, those are the 3 values we are looking for, but we better keep it flexible, so later on, if I will make a correction to one person's grade and that person fails, the system can still pick up the clue and continue the calculation. So we better just select the whole range, and the criteria would be again lower than 5.5. And you see here there's a third argument called sum range, and in our case it's not relevant. You see now also there is a bracket next to the sum range. That means this argument is optional. You can choose to use it or not, but in our case this is enough. Here we go. So adding those up will be ending up as 15.5. Let's give it only one decimal. Alright, so that is a sum if. So if you look at the instruction on your syllabus, you will have many other things to try. But the formulas are already there, and pay attention that the results on the screenshot of the syllabus is not necessarily the right one. So if you have the right formula, be confident about your result. It should be correct. But at the moment, the list of results is not completely right on the syllabus. Please pay attention to that. And let me leave it with another example. So in here, you have a max. So a max function is a function that's looking for the highest number. So if we want to know who is the number one in the class, right? That's normally what we want to know. Who gets the highest grade? That's when we use the max. So max, after max, we can type in different numbers or select cell by cell, but of course we can also select a range. This is what we're gonna do. We select the range and press enter. 8.0, that's the highest number in the table. Okay, I think I have shown you enough examples. Please be invited to fill all the empty cells in with the instruction on your syllabus, and I will see you in the next video. Good luck.